Welcome to Picama Stitches. Today we're going to be making this beautiful bubu dress with cut together sleeve. So if you're ready, come with me. So guys, we're using a 3.5 yard of Ankara print for this dress. Since we're making a long version of this, the width I have here on fold of 4, I have 22.5 inches. Then in length, I have 63 inches. Now I have a detailed tutorial on how to fold this, okay, but I'll explain further. To fold this, you're not going to be folding by your normal 45. You know, this is Ankara. You're going to fold it in that the selvage are facing each other like you see mine here. So you can have a full length, a long length, unless you're going to be making a shorter version. Now to get this fold, if you're working with a 3.5 yard of Ankara, what you have on fold of 4 is 22.5, okay? So for me to determine my shoulder, since this is a cut together sleeve, you can either divide your normal shoulder by 2, for me is 8, and you can add 8 or 10 inches to that. So since I already have 22.5 on fold of 4 here, I'm just going to take out 1 inch from that. So I'm going to be having 21.5, okay? So that's what I used. Or you can measure from your center backbone to the length where you want your sleeve to stop. You can see this is on a fold of 4. This part is the open part, and the other part that is the folded part, that's where all our measurements are going to be starting from. So for my neck width, I'm going to be using 3.75. Okay, I don't want it to be too wide. Remember that after sewing this up, turning it to our facing, is going to become a bit wider. Okay, so I'm using 3.75, and for our shoulder slope on this open part, I'm going to come down by 1 inch, and then I'm going to slant this to my neck width. Okay, please, if you don't understand how to fold this, kindly let me know in the comments, okay? I'll do a short video and explain this. But I already have a detailed tutorial on the freehand 6 pieces dress. I explained how to fold an Ankara in order to get a long length, okay? It's not hard. Just look at the folded way. All the selvage of the Ankara are facing one part. So fold it as if you want to cut a 360-degree flare, but on a long length, okay? Not by the normal 45. I really hope you understand. So kindly connect your shoulder slant to your neck width, okay? And that's what we have there. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is to determine my sleeve opening, how wide you want your sleeve to be. For a slim person, you can do 9 inches, but for a plus size, okay, you can do 11 inches, 12 inches is perfect. So from this, my shoulder slant, I'm marking down 11 inches for myself, okay? That's what I'm going to be using for my sleeve opening. So I'm going to connect this line into a straight line. Most of the time, after creating this slant, you realize that it just stops at your nipple point, that what you have is your nipple point, okay? So you can either use your nipple point, that's your bust point, to create your sleeve opening. You see, after measuring from the shoulder, I have 11 inches, okay? There's really no much difference. For a slimmer person, 9 inches is fine, but 11, 12 for a plus size is perfect, okay? So after, we don't need a waist measurement for this really, because it's a free dress, it's not a shaping one. We don't really need a hip, but where we need a hip, since it's a free dress, at this sleeve opening part, I'm going to be marking the fullest measurement of my body, which is my hip, divided by 4, okay? The biggest measurement of your body, okay, which is my hip. I'm going to be marking my hip measurements at this sleeve opening part. I hope you understand. We're marking not our bust measurement, our hip. If your bust is the biggest measurement of your body, mark your bust measurement. But for me, it's my hip measurement divided by 4. You can either add 4 or 5 inches to that, but I added 5 inches to mine, okay? So the biggest part of your body measurement divided by 4 plus 5 inches, okay? So that's what I had there. So from what I had, I marked it straight down. I had 17 inches, and that 17 inches, I'm marking it all the way to the end of our fabric. It's not a shapy dress, okay? It's not, so you don't need your waist measurement. All you need is the biggest part of your body. If it's your bust, you use your bust measurement. If it's your hip, you use your hip measurement divided by 4 plus minimum 5 inches, okay? Because it doesn't need to be snug on your body. It's free. So after marking that measurement at that sleeve opening part, take that measurement straight down to the hem of the fabric. And that's what we have here. I hope you understand this, okay? Take that measurement straight down. Now, after marking this, we don't need this part to be just straight. So I'm going to curve it out so it doesn't, I don't know, I'm not just comfortable with it. I want this part to be curved. Okay, so for this curve, I have here 1.5 from this angle here. So go inwards by 1.5 and curve it out, okay? So it will help that armhole part to sit better. I'm going to show us, okay, during this video how to make this part relax on one's body. It's as simple as that. Now I want to create a pocket opening that comes together with the dressings. I'm trying to manage my fabric. This is all of the fabric I have, okay? So you can mark from your waistline, just create a curve, but ensure from your waist minimum the opening should be 8 inches. So from the shoulder, I'm marking to my waist measurement. So my waist is 18.5. So at that point, I come down by 1.5 inches. Can you see? From your waist, you can step down by 1.5 or 1 inch, and from there, you create your pocket. And the length of your pocket should be minimum 8 inches. And then you curve it, just curve it out the way you see me do. But if you have enough fabric to create a pocket, I have tutorials on how I've created pockets, okay? You can go ahead and create an external pocket. But since I'm trying to manage this fabric, I just want to work with what I have here. Curve it from the 1 inch you came down by from your waist, curve it to 8 inches. Can you see? And then align it back with your measurement. Now, for us to create our neck, this dress is a V-neck shape, okay? It's a V-neck. I don't want mine to be too deep since I'm going to be using this to church, okay? I want it to be moderate. So I'm going to be marking 8 inches for my front neck depth, okay? I'm marking 8 inches for my front neck depth from the shoulder. But for the back neck depth, remember we're cutting both front and back together. For my back neck depth, I'm going to be doing 11 inches, okay? So the back is okay, but don't make it too deep so your bra doesn't show. At the same time, we want to be moderate, okay? But it totally depends on you. So from my 3.75, I'm going to be connecting in a slanted manner. Connected in a slanted manner to my 8 inches for my front neck depth, okay? And then I'll connect my back neck depth, which is 11 inches, still to that 3.75 neck width. But when we're cutting out, we're going to be cutting out the front neckline first, since that's the shorter one, and then we're going to separate it before we cut out the back neck, okay? Remember, it's on fold. We're cutting both front and back together, okay? And that's it. So what we're going to go ahead and do next is just go ahead and cut this out. It's as simple as that. So when you're done cutting just the front neck depth, do not throw this part away. Keep these pieces, okay? This will guide us on how we're going to cut that little strap you see at the back, okay? It's actually the strap that keeps both front and back together and helps it not to gape, okay? So don't throw that piece away. Go ahead and cut your shoulder slants. Cut your 1 inch that we left connected to the sleeve opening and cut out the sides, okay? and go ahead and cut everything out. I'll cut this and show us what we have. So after cutting everything out, this is what we have. Okay, don't forget to cut out this 1 inch, okay, that we left here on the sides. So go ahead and cut this out. Can you see our pocket is not so big, but if you have enough fabric, you can make the length of this pocket, the width of it, sorry, to be up to 10 inches. Can you see how curved this part is? Okay, and this is our pocket sitting pretty. So when you're done, go ahead and separate, pick one out so we can cut out the back neck. So we've removed one out, then we can go ahead now and cut out the back neck. Remember, the back neck is deeper than the front neck. So this is what we have. We'll go ahead now to cut out facing. We're going to be turning the neckline with facing. I'm going ahead now to join. I joined this Ankara print together. I'm trying to manage this fabric. I had just 3.5 yards in all in total. So the width here is 10 inches and the length here is 13 inches, okay? So fold it in two and make sure the center fold of your fabric, of your Ankara, is lying at the center of your facing. Everything needs to align at this part. Can you see where I'm pointing? Everything needs to be well aligned at that part. Okay, and when you have that well aligned, if you have more fabric, you can extend your facing, but I'm trying to manage mine. Okay, so go ahead and trace out the neck depth, exactly what you have there. Trace it out on your facing. Now you can go ahead and add stay to this your facing, but I couldn't find stay. Okay, you can add stay to it for more structure. Okay, and then after trimming this out, go ahead and align the shoulder parts as well. Make sure everything is laying flat. You can see how I'm taking my time to align this, and then you trim off any excess too that you have on the shoulder. The aim is to ensure everything is equal. I'm going to go ahead and cut facing for the front neckline as well. Okay, the exact same thing, the exact length. Now from the neck depth, I'm going to come down by 3.5 inches and create a curve. That will be the length of my facing. Okay, I just wanted to have this curvy edge. You can decide to leave it straight, but I just wanted it to have that curvy effect. So this is what we have for our facing. You can add stay to yours, and then remember to hem or weave the open parts, okay, of your facing. So go ahead and cut the exact same thing. Follow the front neckline and cut out the facing for the front. So remember, I asked us to keep this strap when we were cutting out the front neck, okay? It's not going to align here because this is the back neck width is deeper. Okay, so what we're going to do to create our strap, this is our back neck, remember. You're going to open this up and measure what you have. I have 7.5 inches. So I'm going to bring in a fabric, okay, that measures 8.5 to 9 inches. You're not going to cut the exact 7.5. You're going to add 1/2 inch allowance on both sides, okay? And then the width of this your fabric has to be minimum 1.5 inches. We don't want our strap to be too long, so 1/2 inch will be to join it, and then our strap length is going to be 1 inch. If you want your strap length to be 1.5, you cut out 2 inches. After joining with 1/2 inch, you'll be left with 1.5. But for me, when you open this up, I had 3 inches on fold is 1.5. You can also decide to add stay to this for more structure. Okay, so go ahead and sew down 1/2 inch and then turn this to the right side and give it a good press. Okay, I'll show us how to attach this to the neck neatly. So go ahead and open up your back piece. This is a back piece we're working on. Go ahead and open this up. Now, after sewing my strap, I have 1 inch left. So this is how we're going to do this. From your shoulder, watch carefully please. From your shoulder, you're going to mark down 1 inch or 0.75 inches. Let me show us on this part. Come down from your shoulder by 1 inch, and from that 1 inch, mark down another 1 inch. I hope you understand. 1 inch is to stay away from the shoulder joining. Remember, we'll join both front and back shoulder together. 1 inch is opening for our strap to pass through. I hope you understand. From your shoulder, mark down 1 inch, and from that 1 inch, mark down another 1 inch. Okay? Just watch how I'm going to do this, you'll understand. So bring in your facing, place your facing right sides facing each other. You're going to sew from the shoulder to that 1 inch, the first 1 inch, and skip the second 1 inch and sew all the way to this part. You're going to repeat the same thing. Okay, now after sewing, let me show us what I have. Remember to notch this V part. Now look at what I explained. From the shoulder, I sewed down 1 inch. I left 1 inch open, then I sew up the remaining part. So when we flip this over, when you iron it, this is how neat the front is going to look. So you're going to turn this to the wrong side. Turn your fabric to the wrong side. Please watch carefully. Turn your fabric to the wrong side. Can you see how everything is laying flat? Go ahead and hem this opening part, but I'm going to be weaving mine. Now bring in your strap. Pass it through that 1 inch hole that you left. Now remember, from the shoulder you have sewn up 1 inch and then skip 1 inch line and sew up the remaining. So the second 1 inch that we left open, that's where we're going to be passing in our strap through. Okay? Our strap, sorry. Okay, so just watch what I'm doing, you will get it. So you pass in your strap, and after passing it in, please make sure you use your pin to hold this in place. While doing this, make sure everything is laying flat, it's not bulky. You saw the way it starts flat on my back. If you want to achieve that, make sure everything is laying flat. Now you're going to pick it the way you see me do. I had to bring in my pins here. Okay, ensure everything is laying flat and well relaxed. Okay, so pick it the way you see me do. The strap is in between the facing and the main fabric. Pin it down. You're going to follow up the initial stitch that you made and just close up that part. Can you see what I'm doing here? Go ahead and pin at this other side. The strap is in between the facing and the main fabric. So go ahead and pick it up, this 1/2 inch you sewed earlier, and sew on that part to keep your strap in place. So after doing this, this is what I have. Can you see how neatly finished? Can you see the inside? I had to use my hemming gum to iron this down as well. Can you see how relaxed and beautiful and neat this is? Now the 1 inch we left at the shoulder will help us to use 1/2 inch to join both shoulders, and we have 1/2 inch before our strap. That's the essence of the first 1 inch we left. Now I've gone ahead to turn the neckline of our front piece as well, the same way we turned the back, just that we didn't leave 1/2 inch. We don't need any strap in front. Unless you want your strap to be in front, use the same method for the front part. So go ahead and align this. Ensure the shoulders are well aligned, okay? And then you're going to be joining with 1/2 inch. From the shoulder, from the neck to the other part, join with 1/2 inch. And when you're done, it becomes one piece, okay? Then you go ahead and hem your sleeve. I'm folding in 1/4 inch, then 1 inch. That's how bold I want my sleeve to be. Or you can go ahead and fold your 1/4 inch and 1/2 inch, okay? Then after doing that, go ahead and shape the sides with 1 inch all the way. And when you get to the pocket, enter into the pocket. Just follow the way you see my hand and sew all the way to the hem. I'm going to repeat the same thing on the other side, and then I'll show us what we have. So I've gone ahead to hem the lower part as well, and then I've joined both sides. Now that curved part of the sleeve, go ahead and give it a notch. Do not cut through your seam, just a little notch at that curved part. This curve will help that part to lay very flat and well relaxed. Now, without ironing this just yet, can you see what we have? Can you see our neckline, our strap sitting pretty, and there is enough allowance for it? Now, can you see that cut we made has helped that part to relax better? Now, look at our pocket sitting pretty on the side. Although it's not so deep, but at least we have a pocket, okay? So I joined it all the way to the hem, and I've hemmed the lower part. Our dress is actually coming out pretty and I'm loving it. So let's go ahead and create a bow, okay? I have this little fabric left. I had to join this. The length is 21 inches and the width is 13 inches. So go ahead and put it together like this, the way you see me do, and sew up this part. Now, after sewing it up, make sure that sewn part, you can weave it, okay, first. Make sure the sewn part is at the center, okay? Bring it to the middle. Can you see what I have? Okay, now bring the two opened parts together and sew it straight down. You can go ahead to iron this out first. At each step you iron out. So sew this part up. So after sewing it, make sure you weave, okay? Make sure you weave this for a neat work. So turn it out to the right side. Please, if you watch this video up to now and you've not liked, not subscribed, please kindly press the like button, okay, and subscribe for more interesting tutorial on this channel. Now, when you turn this over, make sure this joint part is also at the center. Then go ahead and fold. This will help your bow to be bulky and more, it to be puffy. Okay, if you want it to be more structured, you can add crinoline inside of it, okay? So I have this strap of fabric, just a little strap that I sewed and turned over. I'm going to put it at the center, and then I'll go to my sewing machine and tack that place down. And our bow is ready. So this is our beautiful dress. I'm loving this dress. I'm rocking it to church this evening. So I've gone ahead to iron this out, and I love this. So you're going to bring in your bow. You put it at the back of V part here and tack it down. Thank you so much, guys, for stopping by. Till I see you guys next time. Bye-bye. Thank you.